there comes a strange moment in life, not loud, not dramatic. It's quiet like a whisper that cuts through years of noise. It says, you don't have to care anymore. And in that one instant, everything shifts, not because the world changes, but because you do. You stop carrying things that were never yours to begin with. You stop caring, not in a careless way, but in a powerful one, a freeing one. Part 1. The burden of caring too much. We care too much about what they'll think, about whether we're enough, about pleasing everyone, fitting in, keeping up. We care until it breaks us, until we wake up and realize we become strangers in our own lives, chasing approval like oxygen when all we needed was truth. But no one tells you this. Caring too much can make you forget who you are. You laugh at jokes that aren't funny. Say yes when you're screaming no. Stay when your soul is begging to leave. Why? Because you care too deeply about being liked, about being accepted, about being anything but alone. Part 2. The illusion of control. We think caring gives us control. If I try harder, they'll love me. If I do more, I'll finally be enough. If I explain myself, they'll understand. But control is just an illusion we build out of fear. And caring too much is just a disguise for needing certainty. But here's the truth. You don't need to be understood to be at peace. You don't need to be right to be whole. You don't need to be perfect to be free. Part 3. The sacred shift. Then something happens. A heartbreak. A loss. A moment of silence that echoes louder than any applause. And in that silence, something awakens. You realize you've been living for others. You've been performing, pretending, exhausting yourself trying to be enough for a world that never gives back what it takes. And finally you stop. You stop caring if they approve. You stop chasing attention. You stop explaining your worth. Not because you're angry, but because you're done. Done performing. Done shrinking. Done betraying yourself for the comfort of others. Part 4. The power of letting go. And in that letting go, a new power is born. You say no without guilt. You leave conversations that drain your spirit. You release friendships that only exist in memory. You choose peace over pride, silence over noise, stillness over validation. Because now you know, real power doesn't come from caring more. It comes from caring less about the wrong things. Part 5. What you gain when you stop caring. Ironically, when you stop caring, everything starts flowing. People respect you more. You become magnetic, not because you're trying, but because you stop trying. You attract what matches your energy. The fake falls away. The force disappears. And in its place, clarity, alignment, authenticity. You begin to speak not to impress, but to express. You move not to prove, but to create. You live not to be seen, but to feel alive. You stop being a prisoner of perception and start being a creator of your reality. Part 6. The rebirth of self. This is what freedom feels like. Waking up and not needing to check your phone to feel worthy. Saying no and not feeling like a villain. Being misunderstood and being okay with it. Laughing by yourself and knowing you're enough. Loving without attachment. Letting go without resentment. You don't stop caring because you're cold. You stop caring because you're finally warm. From within. Part 7. The real secret. Here's what no one tells you. You don't get peace by achieving more. You don't get clarity by doing more. You don't get love by demanding it. You get it by letting go, by creating space, by releasing everything that isn't truly yours. The real you is buried under layers of shoulds, musts, and what will they think? But when you stop caring, those layers fall away. And there you are, unapologetic, whole, free. So, if you're feeling tired not just in your body but in your spirit, if you're exhausted from performing, from explaining, from trying to keep it all together, this is your permission. Stop caring. Not about everything, just about the wrong things. And watch how your life finally begins.